I assume you can still hear me. That's a nice walk. He doesn't need to go faster. If he gets too fast, he gets disorganized. Not so fast. Ooh, better. Now his back end can catch up with him. When he goes too fast, he's ooh, ooh, ooh. When he goes too fast, he gets ahead of his hind legs. You probably need to turn pretty soon. There you go. You get ahead of his hind legs, and they kind of fall out behind him. So we want to keep the walk. There, good boy. Then he doesn't go as crooked either. When he's doing that wicked fast walk, he gets very crooked.
Right.
And he doesn't use his hind legs, and then he stumbles over his front legs. So you have to keep the walk at a reasonable pace. Oh, I should go way out there. That's good. He's on the home stretch now, so don't let him get quicker. Ooh, ooh, good. He answered you that time. So you pester him till he answers. Good boy. Much, much better. Now he doesn't look like he's running on his face. Remind him not to cut in. Outside went good. So don't be afraid to move, because you got to move your arms to talk to him. Did you stop it, or did he? Put your whip on the other side. He wanted to go left. You put your whip on the left to stop him from going left. They move away from the whip more than they go forward from it.
Yeah.
You can come across the ring and change direction. Just pick a spot. That's it. Good. And he won't know the logs are there, so you have to be sure you drive around them. He may know they're there, but he doesn't know where your wheels are.
Right.
That's a good boy. They kind of need us to help them. Yeah, he's not fat at all. He just looks good. Remember, he doesn't necessarily know where you want to go, so you have to tell him pretty regularly. No running walk. Ooh. That's good. Your right rein will take care of that. Outside rein for speed control. Now you guys knocked these things over. They're heavy.
Yeah, they're not as light as you think they are.
Yeah, woke up, I'm going to pick it up with one hand. No, I'm not.
Yeah,
Well, Susie comes at it from the lower end.
I just assumed they were planted there permanently.
Well, that's what they feel like when you pick them up.
Would you want me to get them?
Eddie can help
Yeah,
you.
You can get the egg one. I'm making them bigger for you. Very solid. I thought they'd come down easy because they were light.
No,
Come down
Donna,
easy.
Donna said that whoever kicked it by mistake. So, my girl, that's what she does when she's tired.
Yeah, she said she runs into things. I'd be speaking to her about that.
Yeah, we do. We're happy.
Thank you, Steve.
Oh, you bet.
Okay. So now when you come down this side, Mary, you got to weave through these things. So come weaving through the posts. Be very clear what you want. It's just important that you steer him out as it is that you steer him in. There you go. Don't turn too soon. Now you can turn. When your wheel is next to it, you can turn around it. Turn. A little tug on the rein instead of a haul. He'll give you a better answer. Good. He knows where the gate is, so remind him not to sneak out there. Have you got enough clothes? Have you got enough clothes on?
Are you cold?
Oh, I'm fine, but I wouldn't want any less. Remember, no running walk. That's him looking for his check rein. He doesn't wear anymore.
That's the teacher.
So we'll walk the post once more. He's never been here before, so I'm giving him a little more time. I saw him at Meg's a month ago. Hadn't met him before that. I think he's been off the track about a year. It takes him a long time to recover because well, they race with the check rein holding their head up and the martingale holding their head down. And then that makes them go crooked. So they put a head pole from a noseband with a ring on it back to their saddle. So now they're stuck. And then the back end goes crooked, so they put a gate strap on from the side to the middle of the dash. The horse can't go anywhere crooked. It's really odd. Alrighty, let's make a halt. Whoop. Oh boy. And just stand for a moment. I like to remind him that he knows how to do this. And keeping your rein contact, go walk. Walk on. Remember, he's used to pulling on his driver, so your rein doesn't have to go loose for him to walk. Now you can organize your reins a little shorter, and we'll go trotting. I think he travels better in this direction, so I start in this direction. Keep his head straight and trot. Sit back. Sit back. Good job. Trot, trot. Remember, you can use your voice. And you don't need to do the post now. Just follow the rail.
Can I warm him up the other way?
I think he goes better this direction, doesn't he?
This is his lane.
You can go the other way if you want to.
That's his lane way? Or his lane?
Well, he normally goes better left because that's the direction they race. Genderbreds trot 5 miles to the right, moving up. And they turn and go left to race. So mostly they go better left, but she doesn't think so.
Something about lane.
What?
Something about lane.
Maybe he starts out a little unlevel in that direction. You regulate the pace. Yep, good. Just your right rein. Don't need to pull on your left rein to turn him. Trot, trot. I forgot he goes off when he starts left. Trot, trot. You know, if you didn't go around those things, you wouldn't have to steer around them. You could just follow the track. Not any quicker. Ooh, 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 ooh. Good. He doesn't need to practice running. He knows how. Good boy. Trot, trot. You need to sit tall because he doesn't feel your arms if you don't sit up. You have a right rein, you got to use it. And trot, trot. Trot, trot, bud. Trot. You don't like to use your right rein, but you have to. And that's fast enough. Why don't you just use the track? Then you don't have to go around the boxes. Ah, it's better. I think he gets lost way out there. Try to remember to sit up.
The ones that have the stoop. Put your hands.
That's better. You can't turn right by pulling on your left rein. You have to use your right hand. What's happening out there? Minnie's awake.
Yeah, what's going on with Minnie?
I think probably the driver voice.
Somebody woke up.
That's better.
Minnie sees something.
Not so much left rein. Pull your right rein back and he'll turn. Yeah, good. Right rein. Trot, trot. Trot, trot. Come on. Right rein. Trot, trot. Good boy. We don't need you, Minnie. And not any quicker. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's better. Turning, turning. Because otherwise, coming down through there, he sees the straightaway. You don't need to beat on him. Good boy. We don't want him to go faster.
No, but that's the first time we walked, we stopped him.
You'd rather he walked him out. I don't think she realized how fast she's going. Minnie probably doesn't need to run that much. Now look ahead. Plan where you're going. Good. Then soften. Turning. There. That was nicely organized. Good boy. And you were organized, and that makes a difference.
I'll walk over this way.
Minnie said this is super fun. Let's walk these posts in this direction. I don't think we've seen it yet this way.
Sorry?
He doesn't seem to mind. You can walk up through this line of posts
Okay.
in this direction. We haven't done this side yet. Every time he comes down through there, you have to be sure to tell him where to go, because he'll go straight if you let him. That's a good boy. And then go around your turning exercise. Good boy. One hand takes, the other hand gives. Just a little bit. You don't drop him, you just soften. That's it. That's good practice for him. They don't turn much where he came from. I realized there's a railway out there. Could bring it in here, put it in my mess. Well, I think they're bringing her in, that's good. Yeah, but I think he's figured out he has to keep going around now. Good fellow. So stop a sec. Wait a minute. Does he eventually get so he can go right sound after he's warmed up or not? Go left, I mean. Or do you have to pretty much work this
Oh.
way?
No, we can try it. He just was really off there. We are working on getting the trim because the right leg is not straight at the bottom. It's
No,
like
it's not.
it's been over time,
Yeah.
whatever. So the farrier, we got X-rays to have the farrier go by, and he shortened the front, and he's tried to.
I
level
noticed
it
he got
out.
his toes set up way better.
But still, when you get done with a drive out across country, the imprint of the front boot is on the front of the back hoof. He's really making contact, and I tried to buy boots that were longer for him, but they were too long in the back, the
Right.
bell boots.
He'll hurt his pasterns that way.
So
But he's leaving boot marks on the front of that right hind.
both hinds.
Yeah, because I can see the little scalp marks.
Yeah.
Because
So-
part of, remember he's used to running with a overcheck holding his head up.
oh, so that goes back to the saddle.
Yes.
Aha.
They race in an overcheck to keep their head up so they can't overflex and gag themselves, and so they don't swallow their tongue.
Ah.
Because that's how hard they're against the bit when they're racing. And so what he's doing with his head down, his neck was never trained to carry itself because he ran in the overcheck, and they just sort of collapsed into the overcheck. So silly boy. So when he's got his neck dragging down like that, it's him trying to find his balance because he's used to having his head held up.
Ah. I didn't know that.
And then it gets better. They hold him up with a overcheck, then they put a running martingale on them so they don't get too high. So now they're held up and held down. Then that gets uncomfortable, so they let their neck collapse in one direction. So they put a head pole on, which goes from the saddle or the saddle area up to a ring on the noseband. It has graphite in it so he can move his neck a little bit. So since he can't collapse this way, he goes, okay, I'll collapse that way. The outside pole will go with him because it has some graphite. So he gets a pole on this side. Now he's got two poles, an overcheck, and a martingale holding his head neck straight.
Doesn't have to think for himself.
Huh?
Doesn't have to think for himself.
No, it doesn't do anything. But it means that they're learning to run with no body carriage. Then, because that's inconvenient, they cock their butt. So they put a strap, what they call a gate strap, from right up there by the tug to the middle of the dash to hold his butt straight. Then his butt goes crooked the other way, so they put another one on the other side. So now he's got two gate straps, two head poles, a running martingale, and an overcheck. So he can't do anything except go in a straight line. But it doesn't teach him to hold his body. And like the little thing he's doing with his neck right there, he never was able to do when he was driving. So that's why he keeps wanting to go low, because he's trying to figure out how to carry himself. Probably why he's forging so much or scalping, is because with his front end down, his front feet get stuck down. They don't get out of the way fast enough. So the fact that he's raised the angles helps a lot.
Yeah, and I think he put trailers on the hind
Yep.
wheels.
You don't want a lot of trailer because it torques the hock, but a straight back one is fine. That'll slow the hind feet down. There's another program they do,
So
make
he's
them not
only-
pace, but I
no,
can't remember the rules.
He raced till he was 10, and he's 14.
Yeah.
So it's fairly, and then we don't know what he was used for in between.
Well, if an Amishman drove him, he didn't get any training, he just got driven.
Yeah.
And they go in an overcheck and a martingale. Except their martingale doesn't go in the reins, it goes on the rings of the bit. So he's really stuck. He's got an overcheck holding the bit and a martingale holding the bit. So he's like this. And they don't do any bend or body carriage. And they all run through the countryside like this, hollow backed.
Yeah.
So I think the reason it looks good to me is he's put some muscle on the top. But
Yeah,
that's
so-
what he's doing when he gets down there. The other option is put bell boots on the back so he can't scalp them.
Oh, or just regular bell boots on
Yeah.
the back.
That's
Okay.
what's he got in front? Regular bell boots?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. All right, I didn't think about that because he actually made a hole in his hoof, kicking back.
Made a hole in his foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it's called scalping. They scalp the front off the shoe.
Oh, all right. So he's
The hind shoe, and when you get winter shoes on, it's really bad. You need to let go of your left rein. Thank you.
so he is so he's very unbalanced still when I ride him, or just
I would imagine because he's still looking for his overcheck.
Yeah.
He hasn't learned. He needs to do a lot of transitions, a lot of slower trotting, which is hard to do because he stops. But he needs to be able to slow down, do transitions, he has kind of straight hocks, but he needs to be able to sit on them and get off his front end. And if he raced till 10, he raced a long time.
Yeah.
It's a very nice shoulder. It's
So
quite
he-
sloped and it's quite upright, and he should be able to get his front end out of the way.
I've been taking riding lessons, and we just started, instead of me using another horse, I just started using him.
Yep.
And she's really hammering at slowing down his walk. So,
Because when he's doing that running walk, he's about to fall at his head. He's running, and he's got a straight hind leg, which isn't good, but he keeps it pretty well underneath him. Then when he gets going running walk, it's like, oh my God, he's going to lose his hind leg off his body. Goes so far back. So she's dead right. I don't know what kind of teaching she does, but she's dead right about not letting him do the running walk because he gets ahead of himself.
yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, it's a freight train. Look at how well he's standing.
This is amazing, yeah.
Yeah, it's just wonderful.
He's
And
really-
it's he's not easy with your left rein. Your left rein is a little bit tight. He was going to fuss, but he didn't. Remember he was fussing all the time with his mouth before. He's just kicking it.
He's got a
Actually,
fly. He had a fly.
that's a he may have had a fly.
Yeah,
He
the
does have a
fly
fly.
flew off.
But the racehorses will do that when they get frustrated. Good boy. No, he
Yeah,
did it.
he's-
He had a fly.
He
He's
did- he had a fly
stopping
that time.
a lot of the kicking he was doing.
Yeah.
He got really
Ooh,
bad.
ooh, ooh.
Oh,
One moment more and then he can go.
Oh,
That's good. And you released him that time without dropping him. That was perfect.
oh.
You see the difference? You softened, but you didn't throw him away. Now I can go. Okay, you can walk, buddy.
Okay.
Walk on, babe. Walk. Good boy.
I'm still having trouble keeping his head straight.
Yep. That's why I wore a head pole. They never learn to keep their head straight because they got a pole holding their head straight. I don't know how they can function, but they go all trussed up and then they just go. So we get them. We've had a bunch of trotting bred ponies that we made into good combined driving ponies. But finding out what to do with their head and neck was like pulling teeth. Another good trainer myself worked on it together. About baffled the two of us. That's a very good walk. Now, whoop. There, good boy. Whoop, whoop, whoop. You notice the head goes down, he gets quicker, huh? That's it. Now his hind legs are underneath him. He's doing the job really well. Plus, it won't be comfortable for you to ride on when he's running on his front end. He's got to learn to keep it packaged.
Actually,
That was a beautiful turn all the way around. It was really well controlled. You had your reins organized.
we switched him to a hackamore for riding
I bet it's fine.
to get his front end lighter.
Yep, and he has nothing to argue with. Because they never learned to use the bit right either. It's a pretty queer industry. Except that they do warm them up 5 miles before they run them. They're going right, they just jog along. You turn left and they're ready to go.
That's kind of crazy there.
But it does save them, because many more of them come off the track sound than the thoroughbreds do. Of course, they've bred for one trait, speed at the trot, so long all their hind legs want to fall off the back, and they don't have good stifles. This Kay Vogel says she has one that's pretty special.
Sense.
But it's having to learn to go right too. Yeah, that's good use here. Oh, he's got to poop. I don't know what they do about pooping when they're racing.
I know.
They must have to keep running.
I know they do.
That's it. That's it. There. You took on one rein, you gave just a little bit on the other rein, and there he's got the right bend he can't find a lot of the time. So it's in there.
Yeah.
He just never used it because he's always being held up by all that equipment. Like right now, you could tap him over to the left with your right whip. There you go. Good. I think they put Bill Gal in, didn't they?
Minnie?
Yeah, I think she went in.
Yeah, she's not. I don't know where they put her, but she's not in the field now.
I could tell that was bothering Mary. So let's go back to trot. Have your reins organized. Make yourself tall. Good. That's the trot you want right there. That's not the one he used to get paid for doing. Good. Good. Nice turn, huh? Very well done. And he didn't do it at speed. Good boy.
His hopping business. I don't know if his foot hurts.
Just ignore it. They hop until they get organized. They make wonderful.
Try him the other way.
Yep, they make wonderful pleasure horses because they're so kind, but people don't realize how much training they need to get over what they did in their lives. Do you know Dwayne Posh? He's from down here. He's from New Zealand actually. Trained standardbreds in this area. And,
I'm in Pennsylvania.
yeah, you know about. But and his dad, his parents had their 70th anniversary
He
last year.
shouldn't have been hopping going that way, so I don't know.
I would
if he's
ignore
just Sore?
Yeah.
Really?
And I know his father's a race driver. Is your dad still racing? It's but only the top money horses that need perfect hands. Because your hands have to be so perfect to keep them from breaking and racking. He said he still races a full career all year at age. It was 70th anniversary. God knows how old he is. He said, but they keep paying him to race because his hands are so good, balancing them because they don't balance. Let's try this way, trotting. Try the trot.
That's amazing. When the day he stops training, he'll probably fall over.
It's really odd. Yeah, it will. But he's out there. He's still training and racing. He said he gets paid incredible fees for racing because he's so good with the hand. But he's pretty cool. That's a good boy. He's pretty good this way now.
What? I
He's
can't.
good this way now. Yeah, tut tut. Try not to drop your rein when you're using your whip. Good boy. That's fast enough. That's good. Make a transition to walk. 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 Yeah, good boy. When you get down to the V here, go trotting. I'm going to see if stop and go will help slow it down. Remember to sit up so you don't look like a buzzard.
Thank you.
And trot trot. Trot trot. Try not to drop your right rein when you use the whip. That's fast enough. Yeah, good. Use your right rein for speed control. That's much better. And make a walk. Ooh, walk. Good boy. He didn't come to running walk either. So get a little further around the corner, he can trot again. I'm purposely making him walk toward home. And he's being good about it. So get around the turn, outside whip so he doesn't cut out. And you may trot. Trot, trot. Trot. Good boy. And steady him with your right rein. Yeah, he doesn't hop. Takes a lot of rein aid to drive these things. Good boy. You can tell he's not used to having to push. Of course, all he pulls is a bike and one little guy. He's not pulling a big load normally. Now he's got a regular carriage and a normal-sized human being. Trot, trot. He thought he knew something. So get around the corner and then walk. Good boy. Try not to drop your right rein. Good boy, let him walk a bit. So now he's got the idea that we'll let him walk and rest, which is fine. Then he doesn't hurry in the trot. And don't forget, he's used to warming up 5 miles.
Yeah.
Now you may trot. Trot, trot. Trot. Keep your rein and trot. Better. Isn't he trotting nicely there? Good boy. Keep trotting as long as he stays good. Good boy. Outside whip so he doesn't cut out. Careful of the speed. No. He's not allowed to run on the straightaway. Good. Beginning to learn a nice trot. That's better. We have to remind him not to run on the straight. Good boy, you can keep jogging. He's being good. Come. Outside whip. Tut tut. Outside whip. Tut tut. Good boy. Transition up is much better. Not faster. That's one hand. Good. Don't let him quit down here. Just keep trotting, boy. He can turn and trot. That's it, that's it. Keep going. Remember, your inside whip chases him out. So your inside whip pushes him out. So I don't want you to send him out so much that he quits. So I would use my outside whip down through there. What's that?
You're not going through the
You're not
Oh.
going through the speaker.
she's not going through the speaker.
Turn your
Wait a
speaker
minute.
up.
It's okay.
Turn your speaker up or come let Ed do it.
Are you transmitting?
I will be.
No. Give it a test.
It's slipped down through a vest. It's right below there. But I think probably it's further away from her.
Yeah, but I don't think you've been going through for the last few minutes.
What's that?
I don't think you've been going through.
No, I don't think so either.
You're not transmitting.
I'm going to put it on when she gets here because it kills my thumb to push it all the time. So you can't hear me now? Oh, babe. Good boy. Are you hearing me through the speaker?
No.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I'm not hearing
You're
her.
not hearing me.
There you go.
I'm
You hearing
not
me now?
Yeah.
It must have gotten through. Oh, it came out the bottom. Okay, try it now.
How about that?
Yeah, I hear you.
Whoa. Whoa.
Hey,
Good boy. So the trot's a lot better. That was good because he focused on you instead of whatever plan he had. You're doing a much better job getting the trot to modulate instead of just. But every time he hits a straightaway, he thinks it's time to race. Off he goes. But when you remind him not to, he's doing it. And the more you can remind him with just one hand, he's less likely to break. You pull on both hands, he thinks you want to stop. But your right rein is usually the looser one. If you can remind him with your right rein not to go quicker, you're more likely to get the speed adjusted. And I don't bet anybody retrained him much after the track. So be careful because your left rein is tighter. He's following it. Ooh,
oh,
that's a good boy.
yeah. I try to keep the left rein looser because some of the bend is caused by me.
Yes. What you need to be able to do is adjust what you're saying with your hand quickly. I wondered if that was what was getting you in trouble with all that junk wrapped around your left hand.
Well, what do you do?
I would just put your left hand on the rein. There.
And leave it?
Now you got it. Just leave it hanging.
Oh,
So all you want is your two hands on the reins, because otherwise your left hand kind of gets dull by being wrapped up in leather. There you
right.
go.
And when we were training, he was much worse with the left bend. So when I wanted him to go left, like around a car on the road when we were training in Pennsylvania, he would bend his head all the way back to his side and still go straight.
And his
into the
body would go
car.
right.
Yeah, right.
It's actually the right bend he doesn't have. He's got too much left bend.
Right.
He goes left bend and falls sideways.
But then I found I was not helping it. I was
No.
using too much.
Because then you'd want to tighten the left rein because he loosened it.
Yeah.
And then he got more and more stuck going with his head left.
So that's
It's
I
the
know
right
I
bend
have
that he finds
some
hard.
Trouble with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm good, thank you.
Changing the weather.
Follow me.
Oh, hey, you can't follow
Wait.
Dad. Oh, Oh.
Wait. Ooh,
Has Donna had her hip?
ooh,
No.
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 Now you're in a little bit of a bind because he's facing the barn. But he's okay. He's good.
what about the? I've never used a curb chain, but this Vit, this is the first time he's used it with a curb chain. Should
Well, you're not going to get the curb chain to act with your reins on the upper ring.
right? So should I? Is it alright to leave it there, or should I take it off? I've never
I don't think he needs it because it's not doing any good.
Yeah.
I guess if he got strong, you could use it and put your reins down. But he's not strong right now. He's just fine.
No, and I've never used a curb bit. It just came on. It's so
Well, that's because it's a bit that's designed to have the curb chain used if you want to use the lower ring.
okay. But I
But
don't.
you
think
don't, you don't need it for
I
where
don't
you
think I
are.
should.
I think if you can either take it off or just leave it where it is, because it doesn't seem to be flopping and bothering him.
Okay.
Some of them jiggle so much the curb chain flops.
So that's not what he's after now. He's not trying.
No,
to
what he's telling you is he's pissed off because you won't let him go home.
Oh, okay.
That's what that discussion's about. He's being obedient. He's not going home, but you're aggravating him, which is you're entitled to do. But that's what he's fussing about. Is I'm doing my goddamnedest now. Will you let me go home?
Okay.
I don't think his time's up. Yeah, good boy. He's actually way quieter in the mouth than he was when I saw you a month ago.
He likes this bit
Yeah, he
better.
does. He's very happy with it,
It's the same bit, but they flatten
it-
one side,
and it fits.
and and they made the center bumps closer together.
Yes.
So it's a different shape, but it's the same.
And did you
outside
know it
hard
was
part.
different when you bought it?
Oh yeah, they told me it was.
Ah,
And I got everybody was saying it's an inch too big what he had, but
but this one fits him nicely.
yeah, this is a half inch smaller.
And when the bit fits nicely, then the bumps and the things they flatten and whatever are all where they're meant to be.
Yeah.
If the bit's too big, it's like, well, that's not doing a lot of good. Plus, it'll get sideways in their mouth, and then everything's good boy. You're a good boy. His coat's gotten beautiful.
Yeah, he changed from bronze from the summer.
He's
to
not sun
to,
bleached. He looks like a mink, and it's a winter coat and it's shiny. And like, well, yeah, it's not very bright.
Yeah.
You can see he gave up though. His fuss said, "Oh, for crying out loud, okay." That's what's lovely about his temperament. He doesn't raise hell. He just gives up. Good boy.
Yeah, he is trying, and I think all the kicking we were having trouble with was partly diet because he's not. When we get it regulated, he's not doing a lot of kicking.
No, he's not fussy.
So that- yeah.
The,
But he
kid,
was
the,
horrible
the
for a
kicking
little
is some
while.
frustration. The bugs, remember the bugs were bad at Meg's, and he was a little bit having a racehorse moment because there were so many horses there, and he wanted to keep track of all of them. Well, he was good about Minnie running. She was running
Oh,
up
yeah,
and down.
he doesn't seem to care.
No, he didn't. It was good.
No.
He's a good temperament for you that way.
Right. So I just, gotta trust him. So he's doing pretty
Let's
well.
go back to the other direction. I'd love to see if we can weave up through these cones trotting.
Oh,
That's my
okay.
goal before the day's over.
All right.
And if we
so-
go the other way, we're going away from home. He won't be quite as much a hurry.
All right. So I want.
I'm always trying to outfox him.
Hey.
That's
No.
him saying I'm aggravated.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Doesn't mean it's good. It's just what he's doing.
I know, but if I'm back there and he's aggravated,
He's probably going to hurt himself before he gets to you.
it hurts me.
That's why the kicking strap, he can't get his feet up there.
Okay.
He can kick back, but he can't kick up and over.
So we've been using the chain and using the halter and just bringing it down hard, and he's like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
So he's cut out a lot of it.
Well, he went to headbutt me today, and I punched him once, and he looked at me and went, ah, crap, you again? He forgot. And I was aggravating him because I wanted him to stand. He went to butt me once, and I punched him, and he backed off and went, oh, hi, I remember you.
You again.
Yeah, it took him 2 punches last time to figure out I was evil. Then he was good as gold. But, at the track, they get away with knocking their caretakers around. And some people call them blockheads because they're cool-headed. Like, you put the chain on, they go, oh, yeah, I heard you. You're yanking a rope, they're like, yeah, well, you're not bothering me. Which is why they're good for people, for novices and pleasure riders, because they're not sensitive that way, but they're wicked smart. Good boy. Wasn't that a nice transition? Tut tut.
I think I gotta get going first.
Well, yeah, I would have. He'll walk it fine, but you can't trot it from there. This is an alien exercise for him. It looks so. Now it looks too easy. Now I can make you canter it. So don't give me ideas.
You got one more lesson, girl.
I wouldn't come up with any ideas because I'll use them. I like them because you really have to steer. But if you don't, you're going to hit them. Hey, good boy. I got a pace, but that's all right. Careful of the speed. Start thinking about where you're going. You're going to trot here. Don't drag on the outside rein because you'll stop him. Come on, trot, trot. Trot, trot. You got lots of space. Trot, trot. Good boy. There we go. You don't need to take your hands way up in the air. They just go forward and back.
You're laughing over there.
The real problem is that she doesn't know how to drive. She's not a very experienced driver. So she can't keep her reins doing the right thing. That's a good boy.
Doing great.
That's it. Start looking where you're going to go. And no hand up in the air. Right rein. Right rein only. Now left rein. Come. Now right rein. Keep going. Keep going. You can tell he doesn't really know what to do with his hind legs. Left rein. And then right rein. We'll try it again. He forgets to get his legs organized, which is why he stumbles.
Come back today.
Yes.
Fearless. That's a good thing.
Right about there is a nice pace. That's good.
Well, then you can get dinner going. Tonight we have our ticket. We took dinner at church.
But look around.
We're doing takeout.
Right rein.
That's
Right rein only. Trot. Come on. Trot, trot. Reach down on the side where your leg would go. Trot, trot. He says, oh, it's too hard for me. There you go. Good. Left rein. Good boy. You got a lot of that part. He has no idea how to turn. Where he comes from, they stop to turn. When they come off the track, they stop to turn to go back to the gate. They don't turn them. They can turn. There was one that lived down here that was reserve national champion combined driving one year. So let's try it again. Just take your one hand back. Let go of it. Take the left hand. Come on, you trot. Put your whip on the other side. Yeah, and go. Yeah, change sides with your whip. There you go. Good. Come on, trot, trot. If your whip changes sides, he won't get dull to it. If I'm going to go driving through the countryside, I want to be able to turn that much. I think that's a person, isn't it?
yeah. Finn.
All I see is something. Oh, that's the one that runs and falls down. That's a face planter.
Let's put another layer on. It's so cold in the t-shirt on.
It's chilly. Okay, look where you're going. Keep after him. Switch sides with the whip. Go on, go. You got it. Go on, go, go, go. Get. Good boy. Good boy. There you go. Good job. I'll make you ride it this afternoon.
She's laughing and she's gonna have a hard time driving.
What's that?
She's laughing down there. She's gonna have a hard time driving. Laughing.
He made a really good effort. They don't They don't turn standard breds at the track.
I want to try every other. I want to try wider.
Okay. And you're really teaching him something because he doesn't know how to turn at the trot. Like at the track, when they go by the finish, and they have to turn to come back to the gate to the barn, they walk to turn them. They don't teach them to trot turning. Your trot transitions are way better, aren't they? Yeah, don't mess with the outside hand. Good. Don't mess with the outside hand, just turning from the inside. There you go. You got the idea to trot that time.
He's still going.
You're trotting nicely. It's a nice trot. Don't let it get any quicker. There you go. He's not going to forge like that. He says it's a mighty small racetrack. Good.
Come on.
Just get what you can. Good. That'll give him the idea that he can trot. That's a good trot right there. Doesn't need to do more. Good boy. Good boy. See, now his hind legs are underneath him. Give them any idea what to do with them, but they're under there.
That's what your girl does.
Good boy. Doing much better with his hind legs under him. Left rein. Yep, you got it. Good. Good, good, good. I can do that. That's actually not bad. That's 3 loops. Mary doesn't give up. I'm glad she has her vest on. Look where you're going. Look. There, good boy, look.
I heard that.
Keep going. Keep going. Hey, very good. He's like, what would I do? You notice he's giving the rein now. Not throwing it away, but giving. You notice, Mary, you're giving the rein, but you're not throwing it away. And he feels that that's comfortable. Look at your line, not pulling down on the hand. Good boy. 'Cause I'm special. That for him is a very hard job. He can walk. He was very good. Walk. Good boy. He's got all the moves figured out for that one. Don't let him run. Good boy. You notice the last couple times he was really confident. Like, I can do that. And I can keep trotting.
Yeah, he knew what he was trying.
Well, because he didn't know what to do with his hind feet. Because they don't turn them. When they finish a race, they got to come back to the gate to get off the track. They walk and turn. They don't teach them to trot turning.
So I think he liked it the last time. With
He,
the
well,
last-
he knew I could see him go, hang on, I got this. And the time before that, he was like, I think I got it.
Yeah.
Good boy.
So
And
he
he's
needs a
discovering how to
little
use, like, if I have to go out and drive through the countryside, I want to be able to turn like that to avoid things I don't want to hit. Like rocks and rills and lumps and bumps. But I think he had fun with it because he figured out how to do it. And you notice,
cart is so
I'm
long.
watching him as he goes around. Each time his hind legs are getting further and further underneath him. And then he has the power to turn. Because they don't do it, and they breed for a fast trot. When you breed for the fast trot, you lose the stifles and the hind legs end up behind them. It's happened in every breed. The Arab racehorses do it, the Morgans do it. So we breed for one trait and forget about conformation.
Yeah.
It's called economics. We want it to make money. So you breed fast, it's the fastest. Happily with this one, they bred good temper to good temper. He has a lovely mind. A very good boy. And that was a comfortable space for him to get it. I couldn't make him do the tight ones.
And this cart is long.
It's a little bit long, but not a lot. But it is a lot heavier than what he used to pull. Have you ever pulled one of the bikes that they pull?
Oh, no.
You haul it around with one finger.
This thing weighs a ton.
It's heavy. It's always been heavy. Remember when EJ started with it, she was like, oh my God, they've tied me to a rock.
Yeah.
And they're little jog bikes you can pull with one hand and not know it's there. It's like leading a dog on a loose line.
So that's what was happening. When I go on the track over there, his nose is in the bushes
Right,
before I can turn. That's
right.
why-
Because he's leaning right.
And this is so long, I have to get past.
But he was coming down that's a downhill, which is why he was doing it so badly. It's a very slight downhill. But when you're used to living on a flat place, on a racetrack, that's a downhill. And it comes down all the way. That's why I had you do these uphill. It's a little harder work, but it won't make him rush. But he got so he was coming down there staying steady. And the more he came down the hill, the more the hill pushed his hind legs underneath him. So the better work you got from him. You probably should walk a little bit to cool out. And now I'm talking to myself. That's a good one. And your trot transitions got way better. 'Cause you did a lot of trot transitions today.
Yeah,
He was like, oh, damn you, I'll go. I don't think I've ever finished my morning tea. Holly said she's going to feed me at 7:45. Of course, I woke up at 7, which is when I normally wake up. So I rattled around. All of a sudden, it was time for breakfast. I was like, oh man, I got to get out to the ring. Because they want to sit and talk over breakfast. I wake up by daylight. And I'm sleeping in Finn's room. It has black curtains,
Oh, nice.
which are all down. So I pulled one up. So daylight wakes me up,
Oh.
which I like. I don't really have any desire to sleep all day. My grandmom used to say, you know, you're a long time dead. Don't waste your life sleeping.
That's very true.
It's very true. When I was a teenager, I never could understand the teenagers that didn't want to get up. But they probably didn't have a passion like horses to get up to.
Exactly.
Has he got a cooler with him to wear between lessons?
Yes, and he's in a stall.
Yeah, but even so, it's a cold day.
Yeah, I have a cooler.
That way he'll dry and stay warm. Actually carrying his head better. He's up. The hind legs came under and the head came up. Did you guys notice T's horse today? She let go of the head, and the more she got it forward, the more the head went down. She had to pull that head down. Tina's horse, and it got really nice. Round in the neck and reaching, where she didn't pull on him. He's actually carrying his neck a bit today, too. He's got a little crest on the top of it. He's carrying it really well.
So are we done?
I think we can be done till later.
Pardon?
Hmm?
Yeah.
We can be done till later, and then you come back and I'll pester you some more.
Okay. Yeah, I'm riding him later.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be interesting because we finally got him to trot, but I have best luck when I'm going uphill.
Well, the uphill makes the hind legs engage and regulate the trot, so he pushes instead of doing the rat scuttle.
So we'll see. I
But
hope
he
I
is
don't fall
learning to
back.
carry his neck. It's actually coming up and round.
That's what I need for the backbone because I had the saddle so it was comfortable one day, and I decided just to refine it a little bit. Totally screwed it up. It wouldn't move. So we're back to like a 3/4.
Yeah, if you got it, don't mess.
Yeah, I should have. I can't believe that I messed with it.
Yeah, he can quit. He's not breathing as long as he's got a cooler to wear. Because he's in the barn, but it's cold in there.
Right. Yeah. I just figured it would be less traumatic if he was in the stall.
Oh yeah, I'd be happy to be in where everybody is. And it's breezy. You just soon get out of the breeze too.
Yeah.
I'll put a little post-it.
I have
So
those.
thank you.
You're welcome. Look how well he's standing, and he's standing with his neck right where it belongs, up and a little bit round at the
Oh,
pole.
wow,
Okay, so that's where I should be aiming
Yep.
for it?
That's where he needs
Yeah,
it.
I don't want to lose any more.
Guess it's time for lunch.
Yep.